Hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Where are we? That's what you're wondering. Well, this is the road to the rear of the Blue Cross Hospital. So this road runs parallel to the road past the new Goodies fast food outlet that we featured the other day, and of course past Uptown McDonald's. And we're going to slowly wiggle our way down to the bottom, and slowly we're going to take you down to downtown Cato Paradise, which of course is the harbour area. Now, believe it or not, the sky is not blue, as you may have noticed. This morning we woke up to rather heavy thunderstorms, but luckily they have receded, and now, well, it's quite warm. If you're curious to know what the temperature, you know, if your name is Miss Dawn, you got a husband called Mr. Sean, you got a cat that you stole from Cyprus called Miss Daisy, and a dog called Bobo, the temperature today is around about 20 degrees with a slight breeze. And you also may have noticed that there's no Mercedes ornament on the hood. No, because today we're in a Pajero. That's what we're in. I think in English it's called a Shogun, so we're in a Mitsubishi Shogun or a Mitsubishi Pajero. We've got this one for 2 or 3 days now. It's a car that I've purchased off a gentleman, so we're going to try and find a new buyer, isn't it? That's what it's all about, and see if we can make a couple of bob. So hopefully, well, I think the ride is going to be a bit rough, to be honest, because the roads, as we've come to understand, in and around the Paphos district are completely Sherlock Holmes. In fact, they're way worse than Sherlock Holmes. I think they're up there with, well, what can we say, Chaucerian English. And I understand I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, as Lord Jeremy Payne has been telling me, but I can't get my tongue around it. There we are. I never could when I was in school, and I certainly can't now, and I have no desire to either. When I was in school it was for A-level, and I failed, but there we go. What else can I say? My maths is quite good, my physics is quite good, and my chemistry is quite good, so I managed to pass those at A-level. There we go. Right, heading down. There's not much traffic around, as you notice, because a lot of people were scared off this morning, some of the locals, by the bad weather, if you understand me. So a lot of them will have phoned in sick because, you know, not many locals like to travel around in the rain. And as you can feel, the suspension is being smashed around in this big old Jeep. But it's not that old, it's about 2003. I understand off-roading, it's exceptional, but for driving around town, to be honest, apart from being big and intimidating, it's a bit agricultural, shall we say. It's got a 4-cylinder 3.2 litre turbo diesel engine, so probably it will tow the world, I have no doubt. But what can I say? Not much refinement, shall we say. Right, here we are. This road is the road that takes you from the former Debenhams roundabout, and it takes you into the ministerial area of Paphos, as I say. But we're going to wiggle a little bit to the right, and then we're going to go a little bit to the left, and then we're going to head out towards the area known as Universal, and eventually we're going to get down to the harbour area, and hopefully we're going to get a spectacular view across the slightly grey sea today. But it's still a spectacular place to come. If you're in downtown Paphos, I'm sure you are walking around in shorts and t-shirts. We bumped into some superstars yesterday, a Miss Rachel and a Mr. Gavin, and they're all the way from Buxton, which is like the Peak District, isn't it? About an hour or so from Manchester. And we had a good chat with them. They made our day, that's for sure, because we were just walking past the wood kiosk, and this lady literally threw her arms around Marika, and we understood that perhaps they must know her from somewhere, and of course they knew us from YouTube. And it lifts our hearts every day. We just finished filming, otherwise we would have got them on camera. And but she says she's a little bit shy, but you never know. They're in Paphos for another week or so, and they're staying in the luxury, oh wait for it, they're staying in the luxury 5-star Amarvi Hotel, and they say, wow, it's absolutely fabulous. So if you're looking for a spectacular hotel with a beachfront location in downtown Paphos, the Amarvi Luxury 5-star Adults Only Hotel could be the perfect place for you. So a big shout out to you, Miss Rachel. It was great to meet you, and of course your partner in crime, Mr. Kev, and we truly appreciate that cafe coffee that you bought for us. Thanks very much. On that note, if you're curious to know how this channel is funded, it is funded by the Buy Me a Coffee. So if you go through to our About page, you will see a little icon that says buy me a coffee, and well, if you'd buy us a coffee or two, it would be very, very much appreciated, because most of us understand that someone has to put the fuel in the tank to allow us to drive around, and now and again we need a coffee or two in real life. So a big thank you to everybody who has helped the channel along the way. And of course there's quite a few superstars that come back very, very regularly indeed. So John and Louise of the Barnhawk fame, we thank you very, very much. Oh so sweet Caroline, and of course her partner in crime, my mate Lord Nigel Big Guns, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We've got the superstar known as Lord Richard with his partner in crime Julie Nash, and of course my little mate who's not that little, Mr. Leo. Again, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Sean Broad, the greatest mechanic and car bodywork man in the world, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts as well. And those are the guys, by the way, Lord Richard and Sean Broad. They've helped us to construct a website. It's called marikaandme.com, and they're hanging on to that baby at the moment. So when you upload photographs, we forward them on to them, and then they put them up on the site as and when they've got time. As the channel grows, we will get a full-time web person, shall we say, but at the moment, of course, there's not enough money on the channel to do those kind of things. So here we are on the inner ring road, as I call it, and just down yonder now at this junction, you could go right up Russian Road. We're going to go take a left just before the big church, and we are going to head down towards Bar Street. We're going to completely ignore these red lights because we are in Cyprus and most people don't like to stop. And yes, Mr. Andy, the zapper is not working in this car, so there we go. Luckily for me, it's still in the other gentleman's name, so I'm not going to get the red light ticket if there is such a thing in Cyprus. So we're going to take a left here, and then we are immediately going to take a right, and that's going to take us literally on to the start of Bar Street. So for example, you were in the, where should we say, the King Jason Hotel just over the road, or the Mayfair Hotel. This is probably the route that you would come. And now we are, well, seconds away from Bar Street, and there's bars and restaurants all the way along here. As you can see, there's the Britannia Bar and Restaurant. This is the Georgia Restaurant on the left. That's the Meeting Pub, which was formerly called the First and the Last Bar. And just up here now is the Friends Bar. You never know, Mr. Jamie could be still in there, and I'm pretty sure George the boss is hanging out and counting all his money, all his loose. So we're going to take a left now onto Bar Street. That's where we are, downtown Bar Street, on a truly spectacular day, if a little bit overcast and there's a little bit of dust in the air, but it's still a beautiful day. As you can see, most people are walking around in shorts and t-shirts, and there's a lot of improvements going on Bar Street, by the way. As time goes on now, we will take you up and down it probably once a fortnight to show you some of the new restaurants and some of the new bars. We've got the little chef on the corner there, that's getting done up. As you can see, Notorious is having a lick of paint, and Notorious 2 is going to be sorted out in the next couple of months, all ready for the season. Even these buildings over here on the right hand side have been cleaned out, and apparently they're going to start, well, doing some more cleaning out in the next couple of weeks. And obviously that's a long-term project, it's going to take 2 or 3 years, we understand that, but at least it started, shall we say. Pentaris Rentals, if you want to rent a car, on the left hand side there, he's had a bit of a refurb and a lick of paint. Here's the Keg and Barrel. That's the greatest fish and chip shop in the world. I bumped into the girls only yesterday in the new Neon Mall, and we said we were coming down on the Saturday, but unfortunately we were too early. 2 o'clock they open at the moment, by the way, so if you're looking for fish and chips, 2 o'clock until the fish is finished. So that normally means around about 8:30, because they probably are the busiest fish and chip shop in downtown Paphos by a mile, that's for sure. Now we're heading back towards, well, it was the former post office. There's still some post office boxes up here, but we're heading back up this way towards the main inner ring road. So sit back and relax and enjoy the drive. I'm going to go and check in with the breakfast crew and see what is going on, because of course there's 3 girls in charge, the 3 dolly birds known as Miss Vivian, Miss Nessie, and of course Miss Beverly. They're in charge of the Marika and Me Lounge. They're the ones cooking up a bit of a fizz and making those special cheesecakes for some special people. Mr. Kenny, young Kenny, good morning to you. He's going to have a special orange chip cheesecake today. So is Princess Darlie, and of course so is Princess Maya. So big good morning to you girls, and the young man called Mr. Kenny. He's sitting there on his dad's lap, Mr. Paul Roberts. Mr. Nicole is wondering, is he going to talk in Greek to him? So I'm going to say, Kalimera, Mr. Kenny. There we go. That's the limit of my Greek, by the way. So we're going to go on a right turn here, and we're going to enter into the area known as Universal. So here we are. This is the start, and this is the main drag through Universal. And just over here, you've got a Cava kiosk mini market on the right hand side, and then just further up, you've got another one. So there we go. And this one up here is called the Amazon, quite a famous kiosk in downtown Paphos. So if you're looking to get a taxi or that kind of thing in this area, you'd say to them, come to the Amazon kiosk. And that's what that is there on the left hand side. And as you can see, even though this road has been improved, the surface is absolutely Sherlock Holmes. And I'm actually in a big Pajero with quite soft suspension, if you understand me. Anyone who's ever driven one of these understands it's designed to go off-road. So to be honest, I think the roads that we're on are worse than going off-road, that's for sure. So we're going to keep on going up, and we're going to come back to that main road where we started. If you remember, I said it comes from the former Debenhams roundabout and takes you into the ministerial area. That's where we're going to come out, and at those crossroads you can go left into Paphos or right out towards the former Debenhams roundabout. So I'm going to say thanks for watching, and of course if you do like what you see, why not hit the like, click subscribe, and perhaps come back for that little bit more of my madness. And I'm going to let the camera fade out pretty much where we started, so we've gone on a bit of a loop, if you understand me. And you might say I am loopy, probably am. Thanks for watching, and of course we'll see you in the next one. Feel that for a pothole. Oh so sweet, get your jumper onto that memory foam pillow, that's for sure. And just before you do, why not pour the Gumbaru #1 Nigel Big Guns the Lord one of those nice tots, because he's going to need it, that's for sure. So here we are, that's the crossroads where we wiggled down and took a right and then a left. We are back to this main inner ring road area from the Debenhams roundabout into the ministerial area. And there we go. If you want some air conditioning or some swimming pool maintenance, this could be the company for you. Thanks for watching.